Now, Victor, people ask us all the time, hey, I've been working, I've been saving, I've put most of my nest egg into my 401k at work, and it's done okay. It's done great. Should I leave it there when I retire? What do you think?
Well, I don't think there's a hard and fast rule. A lot of people that are in our industry will tell you, oh, you need to move it right away. Remember Enron, move it right away. And there may be some validity to that, but I do think that it should be moved, and really just common sense would tell you why it should be moved. Because number one reason would be that you're subject to the rules of the 401k rather than rolling it out and being subject to basically almost no rules at the new place, depending on where you go, because you're in a self-directed IRA, would be one of the options. I kind of equate it to you're hungry, and you're going to be hungry, and you're going to want to eat every day, okay? So why would you want to be forced to go to the same restaurant and order off the same menu every day? And that's really the way it is with your 401k. You have the options that have been pre-chosen for you by the 401k company. And if one of the options is not something you want, or a blend that's not available, well, it's just not available. Where if you are with an advisor such as ourselves, then we have pretty much whatever you would want, or whatever we determine with you that you would want to do, rather than having that preset menu that you cannot vary from, preset rules that you cannot vary from. And then also, it may be a little more difficult if you say, oh, I need some money. I'm going to do this, go on this trip, or, whatever the case is. Then you have to go through their rules in order to receive that money, and it may be restricting. So I just can't think of any particular good reason that you'd want to leave it behind.
Exactly. And let's say, for example, a person's doing it, investing themselves, and just wants to pick an S&P 500 index fund, and that's what they feel is appropriate for them. Well, normally, a 401k might have that option, but it may or may not be more expensive than a person could get just having it and owning it and doing it on their own in an IRA. There can be some expenses that are in the 401k that you generally don't have when it's in your own retirement plan, whether it's administrative fees, record-keeping fees. The funds themselves might have different underlying embedded expenses. And it might have helped a person, Victor, I think, do a very good job getting to the point where they can retire, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best place to stay throughout retirement. It's done a good job for you, but there might be some other alternatives that could potentially serve you better, just like you said, with more options, with a lot more flexibility.
Well, you hit the key point there, and that is options of what's available. There are no other options available other than the options that have been pre-chosen for you. So you're going to be subject to their rules and what it is that they think you should or should not be doing, and there is no variance from that. And, for most people at 59 and a half, they can stay in the plan. They can continue to do the plan, get matches or whatever it is they're doing. They can continue to do that and go ahead and do a distribution through what's called an in-service distribution. Stay working, leave the 401k, contribute next week out of their paycheck, get the match, and yet take control of their 401k. And in most instances, most companies allow that in-service distribution starting at age 59 and a half to where you can have control and yet keep the benefits.
Absolutely. Make sure every retirement dollar that you have is working as efficiently and effectively for you, even while you're still working. I like to equate it to football. There's a red zone as you get close to retirement where you really want to make sure everything is aligned correctly so that when it becomes time to retire, your plan is already able to be set in motion. There's no disruptions to you or anything like that. And if that's something you'd like help with, we'd be happy to chat with you at Grayhurst Wealth Advisors. You can click the link in the description below or visit our website, ghwealthadvisors.com, and you can set up a time to visit with us. Thank you for joining us here on the Happy Retirement Show.
Happy.
And be happy.
Be happy. Happy retirement.
That's the goal. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Start building a more secure future for you and your family. Take the first step toward financial clarity by scheduling a no-cost, no-obligation consultation with Grayhurst Wealth Advisors. See if we're the right fit for you by scheduling a consultation. Call us today at 513-984-5999 or click the link in today's show description to get started.